First of all, let's start with why you created this program to help students prepare for the future.
My number one prerogative, really, Scoop, was an opportunity to recognize the success of our students and the educators across Fort Worth. Today, you'll see students from all 12 of our public schools in our city that are graduating with a credential or a degree at the same time they're graduating high school. As I was just joking with a few business leaders, you're going to feel like an underachiever, like thinking back, what was I doing at 17 or 18? And they have a variety of interests. Some will go straight into the workforce. Some are interested in military. Some will go into a four-year university. Imagine kids graduating with an associate's degree. They're halfway through college at 18. It's phenomenal. And probably the biggest issue for me is being able to celebrate success and what works and some positivity in education, because I get to spend a lot of time in our schools and I see firsthand the things that make me joyful and optimistic about our future, and these kids are absolutely good examples of that.
Educating the kids for the workforce, does that make Fort Worth more competitive when it comes to drawing in businesses, which is one of your responsibilities?
Of course it is. It's imperative that we think about economic development as an opportunity for our city to continue to grow and thrive, and we're absolutely on that right track. You see that in a variety of ways. But we also need to invest in our students in classrooms here in Fort Worth. It's not just about importing talent, it's about growing our own talent. And these programs are really meeting the moment and understanding what our workforce needs are today and 5 to 10 years from now as well. And also trying to marry the K through 12 system with post-secondary opportunities, which our high schools do a great job at that, but we also want business leaders to come along and workforce to really also understand and be more informed about what opportunities for kids exist today and maybe influence those decisions moving forward.
How do you help people understand that when it comes to businesses moving to Fort Worth, investing in Fort Worth, do they ask about the education system?
It's usually the number one question. It usually comes down to talent, right? At various times it may have been about land or incentives, but now it's really about what kind of talent pipeline do you have today, and are you going to be able to supply the workforce I need now and 5 to 10 years from now as well.
500 people moving to Texas a month.
Yeah.
Much of that right here in Fort Worth. How does this impact what your responsibilities are for our city?
Well, I've always said this, and you've heard me talk about this before when you've done interviews, that my responsibility as mayor is the highest quality of life for all of our residents, whether they've been here for 2 days or they've been here for 100 years. And we continue to do a great job with that through our city management leadership, and the city council really focused on the basics of city government, from public safety to infrastructure to parks, streets, et cetera. So that's first and foremost as your mayor. But we also have to be, and I need to be, the greatest ambassador for the city of Fort Worth, attracting jobs for people that live here in Fort Worth today, also attracting the new types of talent and workforce that we need into the future, and really expanding all of those access points across our city. It can be complicated at times, but it is a merriment of both, right? And you have to continually to be vigilant. It's fascinating to have these conversations with business leaders that are voting with their feet across the country to relocate businesses or expand. And lucky for us, Fort Worth continues to be at the top of the list as potential, and we want to keep competing well.
Speaking of conversations, what do you want the takeaway to be when these students hear your conversation with Vanessa today?
Yeah, well, number one is I want these students to understand their city is so proud of them. And we want them to go off into the world and accomplish great things, and then hopefully come right back here to Fort Worth to grow their businesses and raise their families. I also want them to be inspired by Vanessa, or Siren, as you'll get to know her. If you haven't already, she's truly amazing. She's the real Top Gun, quite literally. And I know her story just on its face. Even if they just watch the intro video that's just less than 2 minutes long, they're going to love it. But then to hear her story and inspire these students to think about their own path, that's probably something else I want them to get out of this.
Okay, let's transition to Fort Worth ISD.
Sure.
The TEA just released its ratings.
Long-awaited A through F
Yes.
ratings, yeah. A lot of battle there, right?
Your immediate reaction?
Not surprised. Knew it was coming. And I'm so proud of Dr. Molinar and the school board for really leaning into reality in the last few months. If you've heard her presentations, I've gone through them with her. She is transparent. She is focused on the future. She knows right where they are, and she wants to turn things around, and she is. And so these ratings, while I know it may feel like a blow to some, those of us that have been following public education, specifically Fort Worth ISD, for quite some time, we knew where we were going to be. and we just have to use it as a launching point to move forward as a community. And I'm fully confident that Dr. Molinar and this school board are on the right path, and she's got great leaders with her and campus leaders. And so maybe to my teachers in Fort Worth and our principals, chin up. Transition and change takes time, and they have a great leader at Fort Worth ISD. And I know over the next year, you're going to see significant improvement for our students if we just keep our focus on student outcomes, on literacy, and the things that really matter.
Are you concerned at all that TEA will implement a takeover because of the Leadership Academy's rating?
Sure. Not right now. I would be the first to get involved, whether it starts today or in the future. But again, it does come down to leadership. And I think these accountability ratings are delayed by several years. The trajectory of these campuses is on the right path. They've already made changes, significant changes to some of these campuses that would have been at that demarcation point of the 5-year that would have kicked in a choice by Mr. Morath and our TEA commissioner, whether or not he wanted to take over the district or close a school. And so while I always will be vigilant that that's a possibility and understand the mechanism, I actually support the mechanism in the state. I support when a commissioner has gotten to a place the district is not performing, because put yourself in that position, Scoop. Imagine your kids go to a school that's been failing for 5+ years. It's unacceptable, right? But I want to keep our leadership local. I think we as a community can do this together, and we have the right superintendent for the right time to keep Fort Worth ISD School District and change things here locally, and it's up to us.